Hello.
Hey, Melissa.
Hi, how are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I am doing fabulous. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Hey, you guys in the chat. Hey, Punksy, Nadie, that Michelle, Pointer Lover, ET Phone Home, Ava, hey, Jana, Violet, Amanda, and Yanka. How are you guys? I'm so excited. So it's weird. I always think it's weird to get on a panel and pretend like you weren't just talking to the person before you. Yeah.
I know, but I just rolled with it.
It's you have to, but it is still weird. Hey, Allie, even saying hi, it feels like I'm saying hi to myself. Hey, Allie, there's Woofy. So you guys, the other night I was watching Melissa actually, and I've linked her video in the description. So she led me down a rabbit hole that night. It was a very good video about UFOs and stuff like that. And by the way, she's covered tons of stuff like this on her channel. If it's something that you're interested in, you have to go over there and subscribe. Other conspiracies and things as well. So I was watching her, and then after that, I went over to TikTok because I just wanted to like Google or TikTok UFOs and see what would come up. And I found some of the craziest videos. After I was like, Melissa, I have to talk about this. And I'm like, I don't want to copy you. I was inspired by you. And I'm like, okay.
Not at all. Well, I could talk about this any day. And once you like start to go down that rabbit hole and you realize how much is actually out there, granted, you have to kind of sift through because there's a lot of misinformation and there's a lot of fake ones, but among them are legitimate videos, and it's crazy.
Yeah, it really is. And I think it's going to be even more fun to do it with you because you have a lot of experience in kind of watching these videos. And yeah, and I told my mom, Melissa, I was like, okay, so my friend's coming on. I was like, she's very good at this. I'm like, she even made me a personal video.
I did. It's a little bit embarrassing. But I'm a visual learner. So like explaining things with science especially, it's like sometimes it's easier to see and understand something than it is trying to explain it.
Well, it is, and it worked good. No, I thought it was funny, but also adorable, and it was a good way to like for me to understand. But she sends me a video with like her with a napkin, and she's explaining how space is like fabric, and she's like giving me all this demonstration and everything.
Yep,
it was really awesome. So yeah, I can't wait for you guys to hear. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up TikTok now.
Oh, I'm excited.
I didn't have it ready.
I have like my NASA shirt on and everything, so I'm ready to go.
Yay. Jana said that's hilarious about your.
I did.
It was actually very good.
I did. And listen, if I have to pull out the napkin again, I will.
It was awesome. I loved it. Hey, Wondering Sub, and hey, Amanda, I'm excited too. Yeah, she dressed up for it.
Hell yeah.
Okay, let's see. I'm here. I'm going to share my screen, but I'm trying to just get it to like on TikTok, any videos you like, it automatically saves. And that's kind of what I did with some of them. And then I was just going to Google it and see what else we could pull up after.
Yes.
Okay. So this is so exciting.
I know.
I can't believe how many I've got here. I didn't realize that I liked that many. Okay. So here, oh, wait. Not yet. So here is like, these are all the ones that I've liked. It starts, okay, so maybe like right here, this UFO panic all over TikTok. And then I got all these rows of videos. So
that's a lot.
I know. And there's so many more. That's why I was telling you, like TikTok is crazy. Look at this, 50 million views, 30 million views. 3.5 million, 911,000. I mean,
so this is where all the alien stuff is. It's not on YouTube. I can tell you that.
Yeah, it's over here. And you know what? TikTok, now they do censor some, but they don't censor like YouTube, I don't think, especially with like conspiracies and stuff. Mm-hmm. They'll censor like true crime stuff, but a lot of conspiracies.
Well, the buzz all over TikTok for the past 24 hours has been all the UFO activity that's been showing up in everybody's For You page. And as you can see here, just on my video alone, some people are really starting to kind of panic on all the activity they've seen all over TikTok. So let's take a look at some of these videos that actually explain. Some, I'm not sure.
Okay, so I didn't mean for it to start playing, but I am going to let it play. So this is the guy I told you about who kind of tries to debunk some of them. And I'm going to just let him, I want to get what you think after him, but most of these are ones he's debunked. I guess this was the first one I liked in my list. So
you always like, listen, with things like this, you are trying to debunk it, because then you're left, once you debunk all the nonsense, you're left with the ones that you can explain. So it's a good mentality to try to debunk something.
Yeah, I totally agree, because there's a lot of fakery out there too, you know. There's people who love, it's gross if you think about it. Like, I don't know, people just want to be viral so bad.
Yep, they do.
Okay. What the heck? I don't know why it takes a second to go, but
it's hard to play like TikTok. It's different than YouTube, like at least when you're screen sharing.
I know. Okay.
Well, the buzz on TikTok for the past.
It's the aliens, man.
Oh my God. I know. It's Trenton is up there doing a freaking downloading a game. I told him, I was like, you cannot be downloading games. I was like, okay, then don't play it.
24 hours has been all the UFO activity that's been showing up in everybody's For You page. And as you can see here, just on my video alone, some people are really starting to kind of panic all the activity they've seen all over TikTok. So let's take a look at some of these videos that actually can be explained.
He's got braces.
Some, I'm not sure. Now, while many people in the comment section claim that this UFO was chasing it, you could see like it was on fire. That's not the case. This is a helicopter carrying a water tank, as I'll show you right here. See? Same thing. Now, let's hit the next video.
I don't know if I can pause it, so I'm just going to let it go.
Now, while I will admit that video looked really cool, most likely CG. As you can see, as the plane is going by, he real quick and you can see the orb. Second plane by, the orb is no longer in the picture. And judging by the rate of speed from the fighter planes and the rate of speed of the UFO or the orb in the beginning, it's just CGI, and forgot to input the orb in this last part of the video. Now let's check another one. Well, it's very likely that this was a balloon, as you can tell from the shape here and what happened. Obviously, it got loose. It got up into the stream, and it's taken off really quick. And as he's videoing it, you can see where it kind of looks like it zooms real quick off. Well, that's him zooming in on the camera, and he missed it when he zoomed in, and he panned back over, and it made it look, when he went by the tree, made it look like it was at a high rate of speed. It most definitely is a balloon. But this one right here, I cannot wrap my head around, and I'm still kind of confused on what it could be, so maybe I can get some help in the comments.
Balls. I don't know what it is. Super weird. Wow. Very interesting.
Now, at first, I thought maybe this was some kind of ball that was hung to a drone and it was stationary, because you just can see any kind of light around it, almost sitting behind it. But the problem is usually it's out and you can see nothing above it either. So that's why I'm confused. And more likely, if anything, is some form of CGI that he was able to do, but it's hard to tell.
Okay, that is not even close to one of the good ones, but it's still a good start for this, because I want to get your thoughts on like the ones that you've seen that were the most legit. What were they shaped like? And have you ever seen like that, those balls like that?
Okay, so first, the video was a bit choppy, so if it helps, like, I don't know if it'll make a difference if I share it from my end. Just let me know if that'll help. But two, they're all, from what research I've done, it's not like, hey, if it's this correct, if it's this shape, this is like a legit one, versus, you know, they're every different shape, they're every different size. Some are cylinder, some are the regular craft, that circular craft, some are triangular. And we're talking about things that could be the size of 5 football fields, or we could be talking about something the size of a small little Jetta. It all ranges and it all depends. Now, I don't know what the difference is, so to speak. Like, some of them are our crafts. Like, don't be mistaken. Not every, okay, so like a UFO just means an unidentified object, right? And same thing with UAPs. They more recently changed it from UFOs to UAPs, which is unidentified aerial phenomenon, because there was so much stigma attached to UFOs. And everybody associates a UFO with outer space. And it really isn't. It's just unidentified. And more times than not, it is our own technology. But there are a lot out there that is not from ours, but it's hard to determine, like, hey, what is this? I've seen a lot with like these balloons. I'm more gravitating towards it's some type of monitoring versus is it a manned spacecraft?
Okay. That's kind of what I think about those balloons as well. Well, I guess we'll try another video or two. I could like go get the turn on hotspot. If it's still choppy, I might send you some of these and we'll switch.
Yeah, you can send it to me, no problem.
Okay. All right. Well, let's try another one or two and see how it goes, and then we'll decide. Okay. Let's see. Because I don't even remember what all I have here, Melissa. I'm just kind of like,
I just
liked all the ones I wanted to show.
Just go through all of them.
Okay. Awesome. Oh, this one. Yes. This is one that I was telling you about.
Over the water.
Oh, it's loading. Actually, I'm going to give it a second to load, but this is the one I was telling you was in another language. And if you look in this is one of them. If you look in here, people were like talking about what they were saying, and were saying that they were like reacting to what they saw. So I don't think it's CGI, right? Because they're reacting to what's in front of them, not like after editing.
In real time. I mean? Right. And like I told you,
He's like, what in the hell is that? Did you see that?
No, it's like, it's choppy and it's freezing.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is one of the best ones. Hold on.
It's the aliens, I'm telling you.
We're just going to do this. They're like, you are not going to tell about us. Hold on. I guess I could just take out. Go ahead. I'm going to send you the link.
Sorry, I think we're on a little delay.
It's okay.
When in other countries, it's not as hush hush as it is here. So a lot of the most legitimate videos, at least taken from like civilians versus something like caught on the telescope and things like that, is from these other countries, because it is widely known in other countries that there is UAPs. It's just our country really that has a lot of conspiracy surrounding it, and they debunk it all the time. But yeah, there are some great videos from other countries because it's not like how it is here.
Right. They're not as the censorship. But you know what, Melissa, this one here, it's, I don't know how, I can't wait to get your reaction. I'm logging in now and I'm sending you the link on Facebook, and I'll just send you a link one at a time, I guess, or something. But this one, so they go through you see them flying through the sky, and they're like yelling and looking. They're on a fishing boat, and then they come back, and one goes down into the water, and you can see the splash from it and everything.
Yes. So that's one of the videos I definitely wanted to show you, and it's called like the Tic Tac video, and it's actually confirmed. Like, our government, when I say confirmed, is the one who released it. And it's these crafts, and a lot of times they are going over the water, and they're going at such a high rate of speed. And like I explained to you when we were talking, so not only are they going at a very high rate of speed, they're also rotating at the same time. And then out of nowhere, they will just completely dip down straight into the water. And like I explained to you, even if we had the ability to be in a craft at 1,000 miles per hour, imagine like an airplane, we would not be able to suddenly make a 90-degree turn straight down into the water. We would think about that, like we have to make that gradual transition.
Yeah.
So these crafts not only are doing maneuvers that are not possible to us, they do not abide by our known laws of physics. They're able to do things that we cannot do as far as the laws that we abide by.
See, there's I sent it to you, but I was trying to pause. You might have to zoom in on it. Because I think that it's smaller, because if you're on your phone or whatever, you only have this little square. So you might have to zoom in a little bit, but it should be in your messenger there.
Okay, let's see.
Oh my gosh, the internet. And let's just hope if yours is doing it too, it's definitely the aliens. But I have a feeling it's a little 14-year-old boy upstairs downloading games and all that kind of stuff.
Let's see if this will work. I have no problem sharing it anyway, but let's see.
Okay. Hey, Ecto. Hey, Emily. Just one person caught it on video. Well, this particular one, they're out on a fishing boat. So I don't know. Hey, Riddler. How are you guys? Thank you guys for being here to hang out with us and just talk about all this craziness. Here we go. Let me add to stream. Okay.
So let me mute myself and we can play it.
Che credo? Non è normale! Però che cazzo passa qui? Ma che cagognola! Però che cazzo sta passando qui? Ostia! Vamos là, ostia! Cagognola! Va la macchina!
Non sei a vedere, dai un pochino che normale.
Was that choppy for you guys or was that good?
I think it was good for them. It was choppy for me, so I think I'm the problem. It's my internet, but I already saw it, so that's okay. Because Akasha says the shock on his face says it all. I know, his face cracked me up.
I never saw this one either, Shaq. That was, I kind of want to go back to it. I don't know how to go back.
Yeah.
Let me see. Okay.
Was that not crazy?
They
said it was good.
Here.
Awesome.
I can even mute it because, okay. So you have fighter jets, which is interesting to add in if this was fake. And then, see, what's interesting, and again, I've done a lot of research with whistleblowers, people who were in high levels of government that have spoken out. I've done a lot of research with Dr. Stephen Greer. And so he has an entire website that is designed for people who were part of the government who has now spoken out basically in their later years. Some do it, with their identities protected. Some do it just openly. And something consistent that they've always explained is these crafts going at high speeds over water and then instantly just shooting down. And that a lot of the bases for these crafts are actually in the water. And if you don't know, we know more about outer space than we do our own oceans. But yeah, they say that there's an entire tunnel system underwater that they have the ability to travel through. And that's where their bases are.
Wow.
So it adds up to what I've heard them say, but it's so hard to determine if it's legitimate or not because technology these days is so good. But yeah, their reactions and the fact that there's fighter jets and helicopters also around is really interesting.
Yeah, it really is. Okay, I sent another one and I'm grabbing the ones as I go. I'm not going to grab those balloon ones. There was a couple in my list that were about that balloon, but I think that these are a lot more interesting to me.
Yeah. See, the ones that are the most, I put the most credibility in, I watch these YouTube streamers, right? And they have very, very expensive telescopes, really expensive. And so they're able to zoom up really close to the moon and things like that. And they are able to live stream it, you know, in real time. So like they're just exactly what you see in real time on the screen is what he's zooming up to. And you see all of these crafts coming in and out of the moon's craters. And they go through the process of debunking it, whether it could be space junk, the ISS, because it's all about perspective. Something can seem really far away, depending on where you're looking at it. Something can seem really close up or larger or smaller, all about perspective. But there are ones that you see multiple crafts like flying out of the craters, like going simultaneously next to each other, stopping, going back in, stuff like that. You can't deny. Now, is it as entertaining as something like a video we just watched because it's like all up in your face? No, but I put a lot more credibility into stuff like that because there is no editing and it's just a telescope and the screen. Like you see what you see.
Yeah, that's super cool on the moon. And oh my gosh, I would like that as well. The live thing. Okay, so there is one, the last video I'm going to send for now, and we've got more, but I've sent a few over. The very last one, there's a 2 actually where they're on a plane and they're saying that it's like following the plane, but the very last one, they ask for the original video with the sounds. And if you click that comment, and I'll walk you through it on TikTok, he links another video on TikTok that has the original sound. So it seems as if there's been no editing.
Ooh, I want to see it. I've seen a couple of ones where something is following alongside a plane. And I saw one where it looks like it's standing still and it's just hovering right next to them. Excited. Okay.
Yeah, it's super cool. Okay. I don't know what I've done on my end. Something's going on though.
I'm telling you, it's the aliens. It's the aliens. Oh, it wasn't letting
it was like Okay, never mind. I got it done. It wasn't letting me add this last one to our messages, but I think it went. Okay. Oh man, I'm sorry. Okay.
You're good. Okay, here, I'm just setting them to myself.
Hey, Megs.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, I can't wait to hear about this.
There it is. There you are, escorted by 2 fighters.
Okay, so that I'd be more likely to believe that is our own technology for numerous reasons. 1, it's being escorted. 2, it's being out in the open. 3, it's at a lower rate of speed and a lower altitude. And 4, because of the shape and design of it, not so much the shape, but if you look closely, you can see, hold on, let me get it up so I could explain it.
There it is.
Okay. So if you look up closely, you can see how like there's obviously the top part, which is most likely the pilot part, and different. What we know with UAPs and UFOs that are extraterrestrial, they are seamless. And what I mean by they're seamless, I mean that you can't tell where is a door, where is the pilot, where is everything. It looks like one material. And there's no obvious signs of like With us, we have our crafts, we have the wings, we have the top part. So I'm definitely more inclined to believe that this is our own technology.
That makes so much sense to me. But I wonder if it's like fighter, if they said B-12 bombers, but what would be that big one in the middle? I don't know. I think that's what, then someone said a kite. It's a huge kite. But yeah, it totally looks like human. It totally does look like a human invention though. Hey, Rena. She said, hey,
Hi,
I had no idea this was happening. Oh, yes.
I told you.
We're having
Instead of going on Allie.
We are having a slumber party, girl and boy UFO chat. Just hanging out, going through these. Okay, that makes sense to me. Akasha, I saw that.
You want to know something interesting that I've heard about these extraterrestrial crafts, though? They say that these extraterrestrial crafts, at least more of the current ones, I'm not sure back in the day, but the current ones, the craft is part biological. It is part DNA. So they have figured out a way to merge. So say like I had a personal craft of my own. They found a way to merge the person or the being's DNA with the craft. And so the same way you move your arm without thought, you move it, is the way that these crafts work. And so they're able to fly it without having to maneuver, without you're not thinking, it's one with you. And so when the whistleblowers have spoken out about the crafts, they say that when doing the studies on the extraterrestrial beings, that then they would look at the crafts and they were made up of partial of the same DNA.
Wow, that is crazy.
So we freak out thinking about where's technology leading us, right? We may become one with technology, with how advanced it's getting. Well, think about this in thousands of years in the future. Yeah, so it's like an extension of the being. It's not just a craft, it's part biological.
Wow. Okay.
Like
that is super cool. Yep. Like a transformer. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well, I can't wait for you to see the next one then, because I'm curious if you, I'm wondering if we can find some that really you think might be legit. Cause that's like, I can't tell. Like even these here, I was like, I wonder if those are legit.
It's hard and it could be tricky, but again, like you really do have to have that debunking mentality. And it's not because you don't want it to be real versus you have to sift through all of like the crap to determine, okay, well, this one I have no logical explanation for. I can't figure out a meaning. I can't figure out how it's able to do that. Those are the legit ones. Okay.
Okay. That's so smart. Jana says, is there a site we can go to read about these whistleblowers? And then Corey also, that's an interesting question, but Melissa, do you know if there's a website?
These are US from the future. Absolutely. Okay, so you could look into Dr. Stephen Greer has the Disclosure project, and if you just type in, I don't remember the exact website name, but just Project Disclosure, Dr. Stephen Greer. I could towards the end of the live, I'll pull up a couple of links and I can send it to you. And then Corey says, what if some of these are us from the future? Absolutely. So same thing. If you, just because, like these are advanced crafts does not necessarily mean they're extraterrestrial. They could be us from the future going back. And a lot of times these crafts caught on camera will like blink in and out. Well, that's for two reasons. One, some do have cloaking abilities where they're able to literally just blend in and merge with their surroundings the same way like a chameleon would. And two, you have to remember that we are living in currently a 21-dimensional world, but we're only 3-dimensional beings. So there's a good chance that these crafts are going in and out of another dimension, like going in and out of a fourth dimension. And we're seeing it go in and out because we're only 3-dimensional beings and we could only perceive when it's coming in and out of the third dimension. Okay.
That's crazy. That is so crazy.
Woofy
who? I don't know who you're talking about. It is so cool but also like I told Melissa before we started, I'm like you got me questioning life itself and how I got here. And like, it can be a little scary at times.
It can be scary, but at the same time, it's really fascinating. You know, like anybody who thinks that we're the only life form in the universe clearly has not done their research to understand how large the universe is. The universe is literally constantly expanding and it's infinite. And you need to really wrap your mind around how infinite that is. Like, what does infinite mean? It goes on forever. And not only does it go on forever, it's constantly growing. And so, but people just jump to, well, life outside of Earth means that it's that green alien, you know, that you think of. No, that could be bacteria. Bacteria is life outside of Earth, you know, and just because we as humans need certain things to survive, like a lot of times our scientists are looking for water on other planets because that would give a high indication that life could be out there. But just because we need water to survive does not necessarily mean an extraterrestrial being would need water to survive. So absolutely, there is life outside. It's just a matter of if we've been contacted, if we've been visited, and how far away they are.
Yeah, I totally agree. And Amanda Meatfoot, I 100% agree with you. She makes it. No, it's the truth. You explain things. I mean, I think I've told you this from day one. When I met Melissa, she didn't have a channel. She came up as a guest on panel with me and Sherilyn to talk about the Watts. And I was like, wow, like you speak so well. Like you're very smart and you have a great way of explaining things. I'm like, you need a channel. Remember?
You did.
Like
I do remember.
You do. It's true.
You guys are sweet. Thank you. Okay. So here, let me play this video.
Okay. That one was short.
That's interesting. That's interesting, but again, it's flying low. It's flying slow. That doesn't mean that it's not extraterrestrial, but again, I would assume that that's either private business or, you know, it's just ours. Either way, it's ours, in my opinion.
Okay, interesting.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. I was just going to tell you the comments, like a lot of people in the comments saying that you need to write a book and things like that.
I scared her away, Megs, with my alien talk. You have to remember that they have far more advanced technology that they're willing to release to the public. Knowledge is power. Technology is power. So even though we have like the iPhone 14 and we're like, wow, look at this VR, right? Like we have these, yet the government has far, like they have like, imagine like 50 years plus technology where we are now. That's what they have access to. So something that we wouldn't normally be used to seeing in the sky, more times than not, it really is our own government, guys.
Wow, that's crazy. David saw a UFO once. I think I saw one as well, but it was hovering also. And I sent the picture to Melissa, but like it was weird because I was in the mountains and it was up in the air where you don't see. It was like a circle of lights with a light coming out through the middle of it down the bottom. I don't know what it was, but it was not something that I was used to seeing out in the middle of nowhere in the mountains.
See, I've tried
West Virginia.
I've tried to contact aliens more times than I'd like to admit. But like it was like, if you paid like $3,000, you could go on an experience with Dr. Stephen Greer and you got to these remote locations and there's something specific that you can do to try to make contact with aliens. And I've done so much research and I've watched, because he has videos, he videotapes them making contact and they do get really legitimate responses. And I've done the C5 experience. I have done so much. And I am sad to say that I still have never seen a UFO or an alien. And I'm the type where if I'm driving and I see something in the sky, I pull over and I'm like, let me try to figure it out. And no, I've never seen one.
It's crazy. I don't know. It's like so many people have seen it. How do I do a poll? Do I do that on the Creator Studio? I would be curious to see how many people have seen one.
You do it through the YouTube app. Okay. So if you just pull up your live via YouTube, you'll be able to create a poll.
Okay. Awesome. Hold on. I got to log into my other account.
Well,
yeah, and I think I sent you a couple more. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
Well, and I tried to, this is the presentation I gave to Allie the other day, but like, I think the coolest part about the fact when you accept that there are extraterrestrial crafts here is the fact that they even have to get here and the ability that takes, because our nearest galaxy is the Andromeda Galaxy, and that's 2.5 million light years away. If anybody doesn't know what a light year is, light is the fastest known thing in our universe. And so a light year is how fast light can travel within a year. So again, our closest galaxy is the Andromeda Galaxy, 2.5 million light years away. So let's just say we had the ability to go at that speed, which we do not. It would still take 2.5 million years for them to get here. And so your lifespan is not that long. Even though I hear extraterrestrial lifespans are very different, it's not 2.5 million years long. So what they're doing is they have the ability to bend space-time. Space is a fabric, it's bendable. And so they're not traveling here in a straight shot. They're bending space and they're jumping through it. So that is the coolest thing ever, because they have the ability to travel through space and time. And that's just awesome.
Yeah, that's insane. It really is. I wish we had figured all that out by now, because it would make life a lot easier and more interesting.
Who says we haven't? Who says we haven't?
Yeah, I mean the general public. Yeah.
No, they will never release that type of information. So, it's all about element 115, the God particle, and how none of these crafts have any signs of a propulsion system, meaning no gas, no oil, there's no engines, there's no obvious signs of what is getting these crafts to move, until we learn about element 115. And basically these crafts are using anti-gravity abilities, meaning like they're able to maneuver, and that's why they're able to bend the laws of physics as we know it, because they are using what goes up must come down. That is our set laws of physics, right? Gravity. If you throw a tennis ball up, it's going to come down. Well, they've figured out a way with a particle to figure out how to use anti-gravity. So their crafts are maneuvering via anti-gravity.
It's crazy. That is so crazy. Okay, I got it up. I pulled up the YouTube app. I don't see how to do it.
Okay, so pull up the regular YouTube app and go to this live as if you were going to watch it.
Okay.
And at bottom left where you could chat, there's like a little, you have to do it on the computer. I'm sorry. It has to be via the computer.
Oh, okay.
Are you doing it at the computer?
No, but I will.
So if you just go to your normal live, bottom left, like opposite of the super chat option, it's to the left side, there's a little like poll and you could click that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Of course. Okay, let me pull this video. Whoa, I'm already
there's
intrigued.
I can't wait. I cannot wait to hear what you say about these.
Wait, pause this. Pause.
A lot of abductions are fake, I hear, by the government to control alien information.
That's possible too.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Who knows what might be beneath our oceans or in Antarctica as well. Corey, Melissa has talked a lot about Antarctica. I think that's really interesting. Oh, I got it. Start a poll. Yay. I'm so excited.
I think Antarctica holds all the answers. Antarctica has a lot of answers. And that's why there's a treaty between all of our countries never to allow any civilians to go to Antarctica, and it's a no-fly space. It's a no-fly zone. If you fly over it, you will get shot down. Well, what secrets are being held in Antarctica?
It's interesting. I don't know. And the ocean, like I'm so curious about the ocean as well, especially with you saying we know more about space than the ocean. And I know there's places, many places in the ocean we've never been. So we just don't have any idea.
We have no idea. And so we have no idea like what type of beings. Like, okay, so this is how a scientist explained it. Imagine going to the beach and taking a little cup and then taking a random scoop of water out of the cup. That's how much and like studying what's in our cup. That's how much knowledge we have about the ocean. Just what happens to be in that little cup. Like, that means we don't know anything, right? What's the likelihood that you get anything in that cup? That's what we know.
That's freaking crazy. So it says 62%, 64% have seen a UFO so far. That's pretty interesting.
Tell me your stories. Take me to your leader.
Melissa's like, damn it. And I haven't seen one.
Because I looked very silly back in the day trying to summon aliens. I'm going to tell you that. I've done ridiculous things. And like 64% you've seen it. Yeah. Like I've desperately tried to make contact. It's not my proudest moments, but I've tried.
It's not my proudest moments. It's funny.
I have like a tinfoil hat on doing a rain dance. Like,
yeah, I can see you holding up like all this metal and like making noises.
There was an app you could download. It's like the C5 SETI app and like certain frequencies, because frequencies is the one thing that can like transmit like throughout the universe. And so if you tap into shush it, Rena, if you tap into certain frequencies, like you're able to like communicate. I don't know.
It makes sense to me because like spiritual world, and if you look at like what those spirit boxes are, which some of them are legit. I mean, I do believe that some of that stuff is legit. I just think there's a lot of fakery, you know.
Yeah, there is. But there is undeniable, I'm telling you, and again, with whistleblowers and that, you can't just take them at face value. But what I've done is I've listened to hundreds of whistleblowers. I've listened to hundreds of testimonies, hundreds of stories, and then I'll take the constant. I won't take the variables. So I'll look for what are all of them saying that is consistent? You know, like, all right, this person's story says this, but it's the same piece here that this person says. And so I think whatever remains consistent between all of their stories is likely the closest to the truth.
Yeah, I think you're right. But do you think, I don't know, I need to hear some of these whistleblowers. Have you ever played some of that on your channel? You should do that.
I haven't played it on my channel. I think it'd be really cool. Yeah, because there's fascinating testimonies, and they're not just regular, like they are legitimate people who held high government positions. And with all of this stuff, they're all compartmentalized. So what one person knows, you won't ever know whatever the full project is that you're working on. You'll only know what you need to know and your own task. So it's crazy to listen because these are people who really held legitimate roles in the government. And the things that they're saying, and, you know, they're like old guys on their deathbed, you know, like, why would they, and I don't want to say why would they lie, but I also think the government pushes out a lot of misinformation intentionally. Bob Lazar even spoke about that. So Bob Lazar, you know, is one of the first whistleblowers who came out regarding the UFOs. But what's crazy about Lazar is he was talking about element 115 before it was ever added to the periodic table. Nobody knew about it. And he was talking about this particle that would give anti-gravity abilities, that these crafts, they were reverse engineering crafts. So let's say with Roswell, a craft crashed. What they would do is they'd take it and they work backwards. The same way if we were able to put a motorcycle back in the 1800s, they'd have no idea. They'd think it was magic. Yet they're taking the crafts and they're working backwards. And he said the number one thing is there is no obvious signs of propulsion. There is no engines. How are these crafts maneuvering? And he said element 115. And then a short time later, all of a sudden, element 115 is added to the periodic table. How did he know that?
Wow, that is so interesting. I don't know, but I've never heard about him until you on your channel a long time ago. I actually think you were talking about the Men in Black or whatever, something like that. And I watched that list. And you talked a little bit about him, but yeah, I think you should do like a thing where we can all come and watch like the Whistleblowers and stuff. That'd be really interesting.
That would be really cool. That's definitely another way to flag my channel, but it would be really cool. They don't like when you talk about that
yeah,
type
that's
of stuff.
true.
No, it's
but
okay.
if you started like a Patreon or you're on your second channel or somewhere where you can do that, it'd be really fun.
I agree, because it's fascinating. I'm telling you, like, these are people who, they're not just a regular, there are people who worked at NASA, there are people who worked within the government, there are people who worked on special projects, and they come out with such amazing, vivid details. And it's like, what makes me angry the most is it changed my perspective on life. And I don't mean to be dramatic, but it did, because I grew up, with religion in my life, not crazy, but then I went through that phase where I questioned everything. But I was taught that religion and spirituality are total opposite ends of the spectrum. But it's only I learned later on by educating myself and looking into science and stuff that they're actually one and the same. They're one and the same. And it made me change my entire perspective, because there's only so much science can tell us. There's still so much that is unexplainable. Like, it is magic. Like, what is going on in the universe is literally magic. Like, you forget that as we're sitting here, we are literally blasting through space at over 100,000 miles per hour, rotating with the moon rotating around us, rotating around the sun, just our galaxy's blasting. Yet we're just sitting here like nothing's happening, right? It's
just chilling.
Yeah, we're just chilling.
It's crazy.
Don't forget to hit that like button.
While you're chilling over there, and Melissa's educating us.
While we're blasting through space, don't forget to hit it. Okay. All right. So here, let me play this video.
Okay. I saw Valerie Knox is starting to cover some conspiracies as well. She has like a 27. Mm-hmm.
I love the 27 club. Yes. So fascinating.
Cool. Hey, B and Gypsy. I think Brittany's done a little bit of conspiracy. You, Valerie, go ahead. No, go ahead. I was just talking. It's nothing important. I was just talking about the conspiracies, like where to find them. Go ahead, though.
See, that's cool, because I'll tell you this, I don't know what that is. It could be man-made, it could be extraterrestrial, but just like that, remember earlier I said you would see UFOs flying out of the craters of the moon? A lot of them would be like that, just from a very far distance away. So you would see all of them kind of lift up at one time, but then go in different directions.
Oh, okay. So they kind of lifted up just like that. Like these, I wonder if they're lifted. Like I thought it would be hard to edit in behind that mountain like that, because they go in and out of sight a little bit.
Right.
But I mean, I know that if you're talented, you could obviously, I mean, look at the movies that we watch these days. So, but yeah, okay.
They have the ability, and people who debunk usually take this exact like image, then they'll look at what the sun was like, where the sun was at this specific day at that specific time, and then looks at the shadows that the objects are giving off and making sure that it aligns with exactly where the shadow would be. That is how they debunk it, because you can't really fake the shadows, and the sun is obviously moving at all different times of the day, so you have to really put in a lot of work if you're gonna fake something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Well, let's watch the next one.
Do it. Okay.
It's so cool. Especially because I feel like your judgment is much better than mine on this. So, like, I'm trusting your judgment over my own because I just don't know as much. And I wouldn't have, like, now I'm going to be looking at, like you said, the like if they have any
propulsion system
or whatever, however you say that.
But don't be mistaken, because again, we reverse engineered these crafts. So a lot of crafts that we have these days are based on extraterrestrial crafts. So either it's the literal extraterrestrial craft that we now reverse, like whether it was abandoned, crashed, so now just man occupies it, or they replicate it and try to recreate it. So a lot of them will look close to something that could be extraterrestrial, but the difference is a lot of time with our crafts, you can see where things are. I know it's hard to explain, but like extraterrestrial crafts are seamless. Like it all looks perfect, and there is no seam, like there is no groove or anything like that,
like a door or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know if you have the last one taken down. Michelle asked to see it again. If you have it taken down and it's not easy, I can just grab the link. Okay,
I got it.
Have you seen the fire in the sky? I've seen those weird clouds over Turkey and stuff. Have you seen that, Melissa?
I don't
like the
know.
big red pink. Oh, it's so weird. I might even have it in our list of stuff to look at. If not, I'll send it to you. It's a very weird, like big red pink cloud that was over Turkey, and now it's been over another country recently. I think it is in our list. So
the hill. Betty and Barney Hill. Yeah. Okay. So hold on. Let me play this again for here. I'll just mute it so I don't have to mute.
Oh, it's a movie. Okay. No.
Ooh.
The way they're lifting up out of there, it looks like, and then they just disappear almost.
They just disappear. Wow. They just disappear just like that. But I'm telling you, with the way I explained it to Allie, but here, and I'll do it again. Don't make fun of me.
Yay.
All right.
I think it's a good presentation. Actually, it would teach.
If you're a visual learner, you know, it works. So hold on. Let me open up this.
MK says, I'm calling that one fake. Michelle, I wonder what's on that island. I know, me too. Here, I'm going to make you on the big screen.
Oh, Jesus.
So we can see.
Okay. All right. So this is how I explained it. So this is how I explained it to Allie. This is space. Imagine this is space, okay? And this is Earth. If you put Earth in space, do you see how it bends, right? That's what space does. Space is a fabric, and it's bendable. So let's say that the nearest galaxy is the Andromeda Galaxy, and we are the Milky Way Galaxy. It would take 2.5 million light years to travel at the speed of light to get to us. So that's not what they are doing. They found a way to bend space-time, and they jump. They jump through so that they're able to get from point A to point B without taking the whole time to travel. So a lot of times with these UFO videos, if you see it all of a sudden traveling, and then glitching out, that's because they're able to make a jump, and just like boom, they're in a different location. That's it. Boom.
Thank you. And no, it's so crazy. I wish I could do that, because I've always, even since I was a little kid, that movie that show Bewitched, where she would just twinkle her nose and then get like, you know, wherever she wanted to go. I always wished I could do that, because I'm really impatient and just waiting to go places and stuff. But look, Boston Scallum says, wow, she's so good at explaining things. She's amazing.
Thank you. Well, like I said, I'm a visual learner. And so it's just that the idea that, what do you mean space can bend? Like, that's how we're able to determine what's out there. And I don't know if you guys heard about the night planet X. It's because when something is like in the middle of space, it pulls down. So imagine if I put a marble here, it'll roll down, right? Because it's being pulled to the center. Same thing with space. So it's not so much what do we see, it's we're able to tell that there's a strong gravitational pull. And the stronger gravitational pull that there is, the heavier the object is. So we are getting a huge, strong gravitational pull from beyond Pluto. So we're able to determine planet X, the 9th planet, that there is a planet larger than Jupiter, which is the largest planet in our universe, out there. So that's how we're able to determine what's what. But space bends. It's a fabric. So that's all they did, was they were able to figure out a way to bend it. And instead of traveling, they jump, whether that's a wormhole or what.
Well, imagine the money if they could find a way to commercialize that, or you know what I mean, for like basic traveling. And I mean, it's crazy that they haven't tried to do something like that. And I guarantee you in the future, it eventually will get to that, you know, maybe hundreds of years later.
It'll be weaponized.
So Sandy said female Einstein. She's very
not
smart.
At all. Not at all, but thank you. That's a compliment.
It is a compliment. Well, I mean, I'm not sitting here trying to blow you up and go, oh, you're the most intelligent woman I've ever seen in my life.
No,
but
not
no,
at all.
seriously, it is very legit. You are very good at explaining things, and you make things easy to understand for people who don't. Yeah, even like math and things like that.
I just like science. That's it.
That's what Jana was about to ask. Do you have a science education? Because you do.
I started, Jana, with literally, and I kid you not, I started with just watching Einstein's theory of relativity for kids. And I used to just go to bed listening to it because he would break it down in cartoons, and they'd explain, because time travel is possible because time is relative. It depends on, it's all Einstein's theory of relativity. So I would just start watching little animated breakdowns for kids. And from there, I just started to get the basic understanding. And then I fell down a very big science rabbit hole. I love science. Because people would rather sit there and say, oh, it would be so cool if you could do this, if you could with this magic. This is magic. Like, the fact that this type of stuff is out there is magic. And it's really cool. I do watch Gaia.
It is really cool. My dad is a scientist. He's actually a chemist,
really?
But also he's really into all forms of science, but he's a chemist and he has a degree in nutrition. And so he kind of similar way of thought to you. I find science very interesting, but it has to be something I'm interested in, like something like this. I'm not good at, like, in science class making myself learn this theory or that, or you know what I mean. It has to be, if I'm interested in it, then I want to know everything.
Right.
But
I love astrophysics. It's just what's going on out in that universe. It's really cool.
Oh, thank you, Dom. Yeah, we got more videos. So there's one coming up I want to show you. And I've actually, I sent, let's see. So I just sent another one, and those two are the same person, the same video, but it's like the original one is the second one. But just so you know, that's why it kind of looks the same. I'll explain when you get to that second to last. I'll be able to explain it a little bit better.
Sure.
What is it? Be careful, be careful. What is that? But that could be a satellite. That could be a satellite.
Oh, what the?
Dude, is that even real? I don't know, but it's not moving. It could be a satellite. No,
it is moving. Look, it's moving. It's moving. Look at it.
I don't know.
Look. Everyone can see it.
Let's see. Yo, if this is a flying saucer, I'm trying. If this is a UFO, Playa del Carmen, baby. Is that an alien?
What is it?
Yo, this is insane. But I don't know if it's real or not. Did you just left your car there, dude?
Bro, your car.
What is this? I don't know. It looks real. But it could be a satellite, no?
What? A satellite?
Yeah, it could be a satellite.
That one, but what do you think about it?
Well, I'm looking more at their faces. So here, shut off the sound and look at their faces. And a lot of times I'm seeing a lot of smirks. And so like, look at her jumping. Like, stop paying attention to that flashing light. Let's look. Oh, dude, what am I? Oh, wow, look, I'm getting out of my car. Hands on my head. Oh my God, dude, look. Oh yeah, dude, you're going to leave your car here? Like, this is, the truth is that more people would not get out of their car if this happened. People don't care. Like, at least here in New York, like, if this happened, people would be flipping the hell out because, like, what the hell are you doing? Like, I'm trying to get home type of deal. But the fact that this is a group of kids, they're all young kids, and they're all having the same type of reaction makes me go, like, dude, you left your car here? Yeah, I left my car here. Like, they're like, oh my God, look, oh my God. I don't, because a lot more also would be scared versus fascinated type of thing. And but we can't really see anything other than the light, the beaming light.
Yeah. Well, Nadie says their screens aren't even on, but this just goes to show you, if it is a whole group of people doing this, like, you better be careful watching stuff like this, because it's not, they'll have people in on it with them, right? Like the people.
Oh, absolutely. Like the guy who was driving the car. You're just leaving your car, man. Like, yeah, man, screw this car. Like, nah. So would I, Jana. Yeah, it looked a bit rehearsed. And that's what sucks, is that technology these days can replicate. That's why I like watching older stuff, because it wasn't what it is now, and they didn't have the ability to like kind of like recreate that stuff. But again, you'll find legitimate ones. You will. It's just you have to sift through 99% baloney to get to them.
Yeah.
Busted their phone wasn't even on.
I think we might have at least one or two that I think could be legitimate coming up. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. So I'm really curious.
Oh, this is from the plane view. From the plane. Okay. Let me. No, the polite scumbag. To be fair, I think aliens have been here long before. If you look back in history, when they were just able to just paint things on caves, there has been traces of extraterrestrials visiting for thousands and thousands of years. There are paintings on caves that literally resemble what an alien, what an astronaut would even look like in today's age, like with the big helmet on and like what would be carried for oxygen. Then there's also what depicts like the classic alien, the alien that has like the green, like the gray aliens with like the big bug eyes, things like that. I think that they were here long ago. I think that there used to be an advanced civilization, very well may have been human at some point, but then we had the flash freeze. And I think that Antarctica was flash frozen, and I think that it saved all of the technology as is, and that's why there is a treaty that nobody else except the highest officials from each country are able to go to Antarctica, because they go underneath the ice in Antarctica and it's remnants of this advanced human civilization. And so, yeah, I think it's really interesting. But
well, I didn't know till your live the other day that Shaq put in there that there was actually a couple ATMs in Antarctica, and there was limited civilization there.
Yeah, so there's only
like
a
what?
small. Yeah, it's a no-fly. Okay, so put it this way: we tear each other to bits on Earth. We are always at war with one another. Why do you really think that it's plausible that we'd all come together and be like, yeah, like Antarctica's off limits, man. Like, yeah, we're not going to touch it. No way. And always the presidents and the highest officials always go to Antarctica. They make a trip there. What's going on in Antarctica? Well, if you listen to the Whistleblowers, they describe the most gorgeous, advanced technology you could imagine. But as the ice slowly melts in Antarctica, things are being unearthed. So if you look up images on Antarctica, you will see that there are what looks like remnants of crafts and structures. As the ice is melting, it's revealing itself.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. That is so crazy. I would love to see, what was under there. Okay, so this one that you're on now, this one and the next link, they're the same video. So you see that white box that says original sounds on the video?
Yes.
Someone had commented that, and then he shares the video with just the sounds in it that when it was taken.
Okay.
So you can see there's no editing in it, but yeah, that's what the two things are.
Hold on 1 second. Okay.
Oh.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
See, that flew past him.
Yeah, I know. And accidentally turned on my camera. I was trying to leave it off because of my internet. But in that second one, like I don't know. I don't know why it says original sounds, but he posted again on my internet's being shitty, so I can't watch it. But at the end, does he put like a screenshot of just what flew past?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like he pauses on it or something, maybe. Use a blinker. Excuse me. Maybe I'm wrong about how I thought he showed like at the end, but it might be a different one.
See, because there have been see what just popped up? Okay, hold on. Look what just popped up. Hold on.
Crop circles. Oh, weird. They scared. That shit scares me.
It says
oh wait, oops, I'm sorry. There we go.
No, you're good. It says the actions in this video are performed by professionals or supervised by professionals. Do not attempt.
Yeah. Look at that thing so he's the guy that's flying the airplane. I guess it's his video, right? And then that's what I'm talking about, where it's paused and you can actually see, like, look at that. What does that look like to you?
It. I don't. Okay, what does that look like to me? I have no idea. But I think 99% of the like, if this is legitimate, I think 99% of the crafts we do see is our own crafts, you know?
Right.
But it looks, I think there's a good chance, because there is a lot of pilots who have, you could listen to, like, a lot of it's recorded where they're calling down to the tower control and whatnot. And there are a lot of pilots who explain how they're asking in airspace, do you have anything documented? Because there is a craft near them doing crazy maneuvers. And air traffic control will be like, no, we don't have anything, you know, and they're like, holy crap, it just zipped away. It just, you know, and so I know that this stuff happens all the time. It does look like a Star Wars helmet.
Okay.
And play it.
Okay.
Ooh. Interesting.
That's what it was. Yeah, he paused it there. Okay. I know, it's super interesting. Okay, I'm going to take this one off and then, right? Is that what I'm supposed to be doing?
Yeah.
Oh, there you zoomed in on it. Yeah, I don't. Okay. Now, I don't know. Why is it making me change? Like, are you doing a new screen every video? Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Oh, yeah. Because I have to go back and click on the link. You sent me the new link.
Yep. Okay. I think crop circles have to be alien. They're too perfect. Jana, what do you think, Melissa, about crop circles?
I think originally they were legitimate because what is so interesting about the crop now, I think that there have been hoaxes, but what's so interesting about the legitimate crop circles is the way that the crops are crunched down, if that makes sense. So if it was man-made, if they took something to push over and crunch them down, you would see at what point that they were bent. But with the legitimate crop circles, it had to have been something from above that came down, just they base that just off the way the crops are folded. That it had to be something huge from above. Now, I think it could be some type of GPS mapping, you know, like let's say there was extraterrestrial crafts. Well, how would you mark where things are? You know, like you could possibly come down, make some type of thing in a crop circle, because from afar you could see the crop circles. But I think that there are legitimate ones. Since then, I think there have been a lot of hoaxes. But yeah, I think that originally that crop circles was something. Now, but again, I could say that doesn't mean it wasn't our own government who did it initially. It could have been us. You know, we're testing things all of the time.
Yep, exactly. I don't know. They scare me, but I think that anything like that, I think, yeah, there's probably maybe 10 or 15% of what you hear, it may be legit, but also there's a lot of fakery, a lot of people who do things like that for, you know, whatever reason. But yeah, so super strange with crop circles. Legitimate crop circles also have that weird heat damage done where they bend. That's what I was thinking, MK. I've heard that. Like it's burnt. I love corn mazes, Dom. I think my internet's doing better now. I hate that you're the one having to play the videos. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I don't mind. I don't mind at all.
Okay.
I'm trying to get a full video of the one that they released that we know is a craft for sure. UFO full video.
Okay.
Because you are watching them in real time track it and watching the maneuver it's doing. Okay. But I'm trying to find it. So it's the Nimitz video, also known as the TikTok. Sorry, no longer available. Of course, you won't be able to find it like this. It's a Navy pilot, so they're able to, it's flying over the water, and they have technology where they're grabbing onto a target. Even if it's flying through space, they have to lock onto the target. So it takes a long time for them to be able to lock onto it because of the high rates of speed it's going. But then they're finally able to lock onto it. So you're hearing them react in real time. And then they're talking about the moon. Holy crap, it's spinning, which again, imagine if we're in an airplane, guys, going at a high rate of speed. Do you think you could just all of a sudden doing spins? No, right? Like with gravity and with the inertia, we would fucking be slamming. Oh, sorry, I cursed, but we would be slamming against things. Yet these crafts are able to do it. So it's a really interesting video because they released it themselves, you know?
Wow.
So I'm just trying to find.
Yeah, that's fine. Let me see. Tell me if this video works just really quickly. Hold on. I just want to see if my internet's working while you find that.
UFO directly above right now.
Is it working? You guys? Or is it
crap,
glitchy?
I was on a different screen. Go ahead, try it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little glitchy, but much better than what it was.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Okay, look at this. This is one I sent
seemed invisible to everyone around, and look at when he does pay close attention. This man seemed invisible.
Did you see that?
I could see it.
What is it? Is that editing or what? Because it was in the UFO.
I didn't see it though. Wait, can you play it again?
invisible to everyone around him. Look at what he does. Pay close attention. This man seemed invisible to everyone around him. Look at what he does. Pay close attention. This man seemed
making
invisible.
something hover?
Yeah, and like controlling it with without touching it almost.
Well, then, yeah, that's the type of like anti-gravity. Now, I don't know if that's real,
Yeah.
you know, but that's the type of anti-gravity stuff I'm talking about, where like it's figuring out a way to directly go against gravity. Like, how is it staying up? Right? It should drop. That's what anti-gravity in element 115 does.
I'm wondering if that was like edited. I don't know, but it was labeled as like reptilian. I guess that's why it came up in the UFO thing. But there was
El 17 de agosto en Valle Hermoso, Tamaulipas, un testigo, Juanito Juan.
Okay, because you need to watch the one that has the sound and everything with it.
This is from the local news in like Mexico, right? And they're talking about some UFOs that were caught on camera, and they show a few different photos of them. Hold on. Okay. Watch. Hold on. Because I'm just going to pause it on the...
De la verdad. Aquí le presento esta extraordinaria investigación desarrollada por Carlos Clemente.
En este programa especial, le mostraremos uno de los casos más extraordinarios ocurridos en México, donde una persona logró captar a unos metros de distancia a un objeto en forma de disco.
This is what it looked like. I wanted that up close photo. There. That's
you
pretty
should be
seamless.
able to, yes. Yeah. And we're looking from the underneath part of it.
And that's from the news. I mean, it's a news clip, so I don't know. I mean, I thought it was interesting, but
yeah, MK says this reporter has been around forever investigating UFOs and aliens.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. See, and then I don't know if they're gonna play the full clip, but I have it on. It's just on Tucker Carlson or whatever his name is. But you'll be able to see it. And it has the guy explaining who was there and how to lock it on. It's really, really interesting, guys.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
So,
mocked the existence of unidentified flying objects. The U.S. Pentagon has been studying this subject for quite a long time, and apparently will soon release some of its findings.
Don't be mistaken, that's going at a high rate of speed.
According to a new report in the New York Times, the U.S. government may have physical evidence of, and we're quoting, off-world vehicles not made on this Earth. The government has also released footage of UFO sightings, including a 2004 encounter recorded from an advanced Navy fighter jet. Commander David Fravor is a retired naval aviator who once saw something he could not explain, that science can't explain. We're honored to have him on tonight. Mr. Fravor, thanks so much for coming on. So, tell us if you think this is being misinterpreted. According to the New York Times, the U.S. government has physical evidence of some sort of vehicle made not on this Earth. Is it what it sounds like?
Well, it sounds that way to me, Tucker. I just, I never want to speculate what the government truly has, but I would say there's stuff out there. I mean, the four of us that chased the Tic Tac in 2004 have attested to it multiple times that what we saw exceeded anything that we had in our inventory, far superior to the airplanes that we were flying in at the time they were brand new. So I would say, yes, there's something out there, and hopefully the government does have stuff.
So when we spoke before about this, and you suggested that the object you saw that you chased, the Tic Tac, behaved in ways that challenged your understanding of aeronautics, of physics, and that you didn't think it was likely that that object belonged to a foreign military. Do you think the U.S. government has concluded that this is not Russia, China, or some other country?
I'm pretty sure of that, just by some of the phone calls that we have gotten, some of the people that we have talked to in the government, that they are unaware of what this is. And I think that ties directly with the East Coast sighting with the gimbal video. And I'd be willing to say, just because I'm in contact with a lot of these people, that there are more that are starting to come out, that people are starting to report inside the government channels of things that they've seen. And I think you're seeing it from people in the past, because it always had that taboo to come out and talk about these things. You're now finding people from the past that are saying, hey, I saw this. I just was never told to report it. Or when I did, I was told not to say anything.
Yes.
So I think since 2017, the world is starting to change because of the publicity, because of the attention of the Senate and the Congress, because of people like Marco Rubio on the Intel Committee of telling the DOD, hey, I want to report. I think you're starting to see more and more of that. And I would say if the government does have stuff, and I don't know what they have, but if they do, I would think that, there's probably stuff. Vigo Roswell was 73 years ago. If something did happen, because there's a lot of speculation that there was something other than a weather balloon, where's all that at?
Yeah.
I mean, if just by odds, something would be here.
So that raises the question of why all the secrecy? I mean, clearly the U.S. government has lied to the public for maybe 73 years. Why do you think?
Well, if we go back to like Project Blue Book and go, it was done, it really did two things. One, it investigated occurrences and sightings that people saw. The other one was it primarily was sent out to debunk, to prove that it wasn't, or to make excuses of why it wasn't. I don't know why. I think some of it was trying to capture that technology. But if something lands in your front yard, there's no reason to deny that it existed, or, or for the government to cover it up, because if it's not collected by some means that's going to question our national security or our offensive or defensive capabilities, then why would you hide it? That just baffles me. Just like our incident, why wasn't it thoroughly investigated at the time for something that literally could penetrate a battle group spaces, and they did nothing? I mean, there was nothing done until really about 2009.
There's a story here that a lot of us can't wait to see. But finally, do you feel vindicated?
I never, you could say that, but I never, most of the fellow aviators that know the group of us, we were never like chastised, or, you get ribbed, but it was never like you're crazy or anything like that.
Right.
But I know there are people that do have that fear of coming out saying, that it's going to ruin their career. And for me, it just wasn't it was never the case.
Right.
With us.
Well, that's.
So you hear him literally saying how he was told to not talk about it, and that they didn't investigate it at all, and that it defies astronautics, it defies physics as they know it, like these crafts. And like watching the video, I can't find the video where like you hear them in real time, because they're talking about locking onto it. Holy crap. And they say the speed that it's at, the maneuvers it's doing. It's really interesting. But did you know that I think it's the Canadian Prime Minister came out and said that we're currently in communication with at least 5 different extraterrestrial species?
No, I did not know that. Matter of fact,
I
this
will
just had me
find that
thinking.
video.
Yeah, find it, because when the government, like watching that just now, and I remember like Obama, or during Obama, I believe, is the first they admitted that there was aliens, and I was so shocked that they would admit it. So I think it's really cool to see them. Okay, so here on the screen is that cloud that I was telling you that when they mentioned that.
Yes.
I'm going to play this. I hope that it works. I think that it will while you're finding that video. And then if you have it, yeah.
You call an unidentified flying object. This is not a cloud. I don't care what you say. This is not a cloud. So this UFO was recently seen in Turkey. And the fact checkers and the debunkers are saying it's nothing more than a cloud. It's just chemtrails clumped together from the wind. And some people who have been waiting patiently on the rapture believe it's Jesus returned on a cloud. There's been a lot of strange activity going on in the skies lately. I'm telling you. This was also captured on camera in Brazil. And some people are hoping it's the Anunnaki turning to save us. And as most of you are aware, all commercial flights
news, everyone.
Collier believes our civilization has advanced our...
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. I thought I was on mute. I was looking for my video.
Shit, I thought I was unmuted and I was talking.
I'm muted. I'm looking for this video, and then you're sorry. I was
it's okay. That guy could narrate an awesome mystery. I was hoping they would show, because recently that same exact cloud has showed up over another country. So it's kind of interesting. I don't think that it's a UFO, but I still think it's interesting what
shocking photo.
HARP. It reminds me of the fact that we have the ability to control weather and things like that. So, and they do it in another country. I don't know if you know that they make the clouds rain in another country every week.
I've heard that. It's absolutely crazy. Now, this one I really do want you to see. This is important because this is like one that is supposedly a picture that's been removed from Google. This is what they're saying. This is a great account, though. This Are They Really Here on TikTok. I found a lot of cool videos on their account. This one, they have 60,000 followers, so they have a ton of them. Okay.
Found on Google Earth. An otherworldly object was photographed and published on Google Earth at the Cape of Good Hope Lookout in South Africa. It has now been deleted by Google. Is this a real photograph of a UFO?
Yeah.
Now Google has supposedly taken it down.
Oh yeah, they composite and edit over stuff on Google all the time.
That's crazy.
And in Google,
are they really here?
Oops, sorry.
You could also see like entrances on the sides of caves, and that's exactly what Lazar explained. Like his base at Area 51, he's like, I can't tell you where exactly it was. It would be an entrance on the side of the cave or on the side of a mountain for him. And he's like, you would never know that there was an entrance into the building there because everything is underground. All of these facilities and buildings are underground. And so, yeah, I've seen on Google Maps where it's the entrance, and then all of a sudden the next time you look, it's covered up.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. But of course they would, it makes sense. But we love you. I'm glad that you're here, Mischief Managed.
Me too.
This is kind of interesting. Did you find that video of the Prime Minister?
I've seen. Okay, so it's the former Canadian Defense Minister, but I didn't find that exact video, but I found the video of him explaining how aliens would give us more technology if we would stop wars. Like he openly admits this. So I'll keep looking for the main one where he admits we're in communication with at least 5 different extraterrestrial species. But yeah, you play this first.
Okay, it's only 13 seconds, but it's really cool. Watch this because they show like it can be muted even. So it says, watch closely, look underneath it. You've seen like something go by really fast. I'm going to start it over one more time. Just watch underneath it. Super fast. So she goes in.
Wait, I missed it. I missed it. Am I looking underneath the plane? Which?
Yes. Okay. So look like you see where the arrow is, like right around that arrow. There's going to be, it looks like an orb or like a flash of light that goes across the screen really quick. They go back in the video while screen recording and show what it is. So watch. There it went. You can hardly see it. So they take you back to right there where it is. There. See it?
Oh man, I don't yet. Hold on.
Okay.
Wait.
See, it's right there.
Oh yeah, I see it. Oh no, that's a craft with cloaking abilities. You could see the outline of it. You could see the somewhat outline of it, but it's blending right in.
And this is straight from a screen recording. You can see her at the bottom doing it. You see?
Yeah.
but in that one frame, it looks right there.
That's a craft with cloaking ability. Sorry. So you can see the outline and shape of the craft, but it's mirroring what it is around us. And that's what I said earlier. A lot of times they have the cloaking abilities where it'll blend in straight with the sky.
That is insane. That is absolutely insane. That makes it. She gets so excited. I know, but that makes me excited because I'm like, maybe it's real. Because I mean, also you can see her going through her footage. This is not like edited on.
And that's so crazy that she happened to catch that. Because you can see the outline of it. It's not going to ever be perfect, right? Because there is an object there, but it's able, a lot of times it'll like, it's not a mirror, because if it was a mirror, you could see the plane and its reflection. It has a way to just cloak itself. But if you look real closely, it'll always be distorted because there is an object there.
Yeah. So look at where my mouse is, you guys. I'm circling it, and you can see it's like the shape of an alien. Okay, of an alien spaceship or whatever we would think, like a flying saucer type shape. I'm gonna replay it just one more time so you guys can look, but I'll try to catch it again because I don't think Jana can see it. So when it goes by at first, it just looks like a flash of nothing. Isn't that so cool?
It's cool.
There, you see it right at the tip top of this arrow. You're in almost the middle of it. It's a saucer shape.
Craft. Yeah, it's a saucer shape. And it shows you how fast it's going. I told you that like a plane goes around like 400 something miles per hour. So for this to whiz by, the speeds it's going is crazy.
Yeah. And I mean, so quick. I don't know. That is crazy. Okay. So we can watch that other one if you want.
Oh,
whenever you're ready. Let's see. I want you to be looking on TikTok at some of these UFO videos.
I'm going to. Paul Hellyer and Nimitz are in communication with alien species. Because I told you in other countries it's not as hush hush as it is here. Videos. He did it at a little press conference.
So there's the cloud over Argentina. See, it's similar. It's like that red shaped cloud. That's what I was talking about. How it's over another country too. Whenever your screen pops up though, I'll put it on. I just was looking to see what else I had. Dave says, that's probably us. I don't believe we haven't improved planes more since the 40s. Besides electronics, aerodynamics, and materials. I don't know, though.
Okay. So Paul Hellyer, who is literally the former Canadian Minister of National Defense, said that hold on. He said, of course I moved it. UFOs are as real as the airplanes that fly over your head. That is my unequivocal conclusion. And he explains the Galactic Federation. Hold on. Let me pull it up.
Okay.
So cool.
This has been fun. I'm glad that we did this. I love looking at these. But I do, if you get on TikTok and start looking through them, let me know if you find any that you think are legit, because I'm very interested now.
I promise I will pull up videos that, as far as I know, seem to be the most legitimate ones. Okay, hold on.
Do you think that YouTube censors less with the conspiracy with this? Okay.
Yes.
I did too.
100%.
I do too.
Because even with when I first started on YouTube, I was able to find videos so easily. Now I can't find those exact videos. They're gone. They're wiped. Same thing with 9/11. I used to be able to find all my 9/11 videos on YouTube. Not anymore.
It's crazy. That sucks though. It really does, because I don't know, that
so got struck. Like they will not have certain things.
Oh, I know. Well, I think that your 9/11, you need to put behind like a Patreon or somewhere where you can see, because people need to see that. It's not in a disrespectful way. Melissa has family members who has a family member who lost their life in 9/11. It's not in a disrespectful way, but she is putting truth out there that it's not widely available. I don't think it'd be bad at all to put it behind a paywall.
It's undeniable truth. Like, that's the way I see it. I'm like, you got to pull the conspiracy part out of it, because a lot of people think if you try to say that it didn't happen, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm saying the official narrative is not accurate. And if you take, it just sucks, because with such sensitive topics, and I get it, I cannot talk about it in my household, like at my parents, because it is way too emotional. But you have to also be logical. And if you look at what they gave us as the official narrative and actually take the time to break it down, it is impossible. It's not. Now, I don't know what happened. You know, I can't tell you what happened. That would be the conspiracy part of it. Well, I think this happened. I think it doesn't matter what I think happened. It matters that what they told us happened is not true.
Right, is not the truth. And, you know, I don't know. I just think you go into such detail and you went so in depth. You need to have that up somewhere. And in my opinion,
I put my blood, sweat, and tears in that series, and I'm still not done with it. But yeah, they weren't having it. Okay, so this is, again, the Canadian Minister of Defense on the Galactic Federation of Aliens. What they're explaining is literally how there is the same way we have a government, right? And we have the top officials on Earth. They have that for space. They have that on a galactic level, that like the top alien species come together and make decisions. Okay. And this isn't the clip, because he said it during a literal press con, not a press con, like it was some official setting where he admitted that we're in communication with at least 5 different extraterrestrial species. But this is him talking on the Galactic Federation. And so just look into Paul Hellyer, guys.
Okay, now before you start it, just real quick, I just want to say, Jana asked if you have a video up about 9/11, but you don't have them up currently, right? Or are they?
They're not public right now. I have an entire series on 9/11. I did 8 episodes so far. I have to find a way to move it to a safe place. I tried moving it to my second channel and I immediately got struck and flagged. So I don't know how I can have people get access to it without putting it like behind a Patreon or something like that, because YouTube just won't allow it. Council of 9. Yes, MK. Sorry, I get so excited. Yes.
I think that you need a Patreon. I think that you need a Patreon for the things that are hard to talk about that might offend, like for some people. A matter of fact, I've seen other creators do it. Christina Randall has one where she puts things that get flagged. You know what I mean? It's just a place where you can,
Well, right. But it shows you, how do they silence you? That's how they silence you. You know, like that. You know, if you try to speak out against certain things, that, yeah, sure, you know, we'll just strike you down, though. So it is, you know, monitoring what people are saying, and it stinks.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Paul Hellyer, that's his name. Look him up, people.
I phoned my nephew and said, give me the general's telephone number and give him a heads up that I'll be calling, because I thought I should check with him personally and hear his voice and what he had to say. And I had met him, so I knew who it was. And so I phoned him, and before I could even say, hello, how are you? What's the weather like? He said, every word is true and more. Those were his opening words. And he spent 20 minutes telling me the and more, within the limit of his oath. I guess it went as far as he could. And he said, and this was the most important thing he said during that period, was that there have been face-to-face meetings between United States officials and visitors from other star systems, period. No equivocation. And so with that assurance, and my own conviction based on what I already knew, I said, I'll go to the meeting. And at the meeting, I said that UFOs are as real as the airplanes flying overhead, And that was it.
And it's been reported in a couple interviews that you've mentioned there's a federation of alien species. Do all of the alien species kind of work together, or is there warring species that war with each other?
Well, I only know about the Galactic Federation, and I don't know much about it, so I shouldn't talk about it. But they are concerned about what's going on in the world, and they have been working through individuals. They'll pick out a few individuals and visit them or talk to them telepathically, or send information to them by channeling. I have very close friends writing a second book now with channeling from a species called the Basidas. Very few people have heard of it. They have a deal. They won't interfere. But I think that there's also a loophole that things get bad enough that they would make exceptions. But we can't count on them. I mean, maybe we can count on them, but we shouldn't count, because they say, you clean up your act. You're in charge. It's your planet. And if it comes to a dead end, it will because you let it or made it a dead end, because it wasn't necessary and you had everything going. It's one of the best planets in the whole universe, and everybody covets the fact that it's so good, and you have been destroying it. And this is something that we've tried to let you know by various ways over a long period. The individual communications always say, look, there are things you've got to do. Stop your clear cutting, stop your fracking, stop using fossil fuels, because there are better ways.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this.
Wow. He said straight up, there have been face-to-face meetings with U.S. officials.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And he said at least 5 different extraterrestrials. And so, like, what he's saying, because I've heard this from many other whistleblowers before, is that we have an agreement with the extraterrestrial monitor, but let us do it ourselves. But if it gets so bad, like we're at war with each other, why would they do not let us go and freely do things in space, because like we are very set back with technology. We should not be on fossil fuels, like he said, gas, oil. Do you realize that we're still on the same car? Like we should be able to have like automobiles and things to where we aren't burning up all these fuels and gases and destroying our ecosystem, our planet. So what they're saying is, if things get so bad, they will intervene, but they need us to learn on our own. Now, they're not going to give us the ability to all this technology because we destroy each other. We can't even be in harmony as Earth. So how are we supposed to go out into the universe with other extraterrestrial species when we are fighting so desperately amongst ourselves? So like, just it kind of shows that if these extraterrestrial beings, they all have to be at a very high frequency. They all have to be at harmony with one another, because if you had the ability to travel through space in this, if you have a bad intention, you would destroy if we
you would
blew
destroy
up
everything.
Earth, you would do. I don't think people realize, like, let's say we set off a nuclear bomb and it even jolted Earth a little bit, it would throw it out of its rhythm to where everything would then implode into like a black hole, like literally.
We get into the thoughts of collective consciousness, how they're communicating with each other. He talks about
telepathy.
Telepathy. And which is interesting, because even animals communicate like that. And it starts to go into the spiritual world. I don't know. It's pretty crazy. I think
it's insane. And if you don't think it's true, look up all of the CIA released documents where they will bring people in for remote viewing. They will have somebody come in and they'll put them in a room, and outside of the room, they'll write something like a location on a piece of paper, put it in the envelope, seal it. It's in a whole different room. This person will be able to astral project outside of their body and be able to read what location was written in that piece of paper and then come back and relay it to them. Yes. They bring these people in, their names, everything is documented. So they're bringing them in, and it's not just what's happening now. They can determine what's happened in the past. They can determine what happens in the future. They're able to determine what's happening on another planet. And this has been successful in the CIA. They have been able to determine where the enemy was at what exact place. So this is a real thing. They just don't allow us to have the knowledge to it.
There's documents out that talk about how exactly they get into that point where they can astral project, the meditations they use, everything, the frequency they listen to, there's so much to it. But yeah, it's so fascinating. There's actually quite a lot of people on TikTok going through those CIA documents, which is really cool. I wish I could do that.
Do it.
I wish that I could.
Documents. A lot of people don't take the time to read it versus hey guys, people are telling you magic exists and nobody cares. It's so cool. The fact that we're in communication with different alien species is so cool, but it also shows us how our government is more, because not only is it regarding fossil fuels, because that's one of the biggest money makers, right? Oil, gas, that's what keeps money in their pockets.
Absolutely.
But the big pharma, because not only do they have the ability to do things like, you could, fly spacecrafts, you can also heal people. Apparently with a different amount of frequencies, you're able to tune into the body and figure out how it could heal itself. We will not allow that to happen because big pharma is what brings in all that money. So why would these aliens, these extraterrestrials, help share knowledge when we are stuck in that mindset that all we care about is that almighty dollar? We are not at a high enough frequency. We are not at a high enough consciousness to have this knowledge.
Exactly. And if we could reach a higher frequency, it could change. But I think that the one thing is big pharma, they keep us on all these chemicals that keep us doped up. For me, I don't even know if I could do it, because you have to be at a place in yourself where you are completely, your mind is completely, you know what I mean? I don't even know how to say it, where you're completely at peace, you're at nirvana, you can meditate. Your mind has to be completely quiet. It takes shutting down all the technology. I think a lot of this is distractions for us, and we don't realize what we are actually capable of.
We are zombies, and we are taught from the beginning to suppress our abilities. We are taught that it's no, you don't have, but we very much do. If it was nonsense, why is the CIA doing projects on this since the 40s and 50s? It's because we do have these abilities. Some people are more heightened to them, some people less so, but we're taught that this is silly from the beginning. Meanwhile, we absolutely do have these abilities, but we're just like Ali said, they put technology, they put all of this Hollywood in front of us to distract us.
Yep, the fluoride, like Nay said. Happy hippie, that is so sweet. And I remember you as Kimmy Jean, and thank you. Look here, Riddler says, I'm in a study group about frequency. Once again, Hitler's boys were extremely interested in frequency, and I've been using it. Mm-hmm. Well, binaural beats. You can look and use it for nausea. That's one thing I'll use it for, and it does work. I swear to you. Especially if you remember.
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Tell me. I was just going to say, a few weeks ago when I was going through all the nausea, that was one of the only things that gave me relief was these binaural beats, headphones, and my eyes closed. What do they say about it, the whistleblowers?
Everything has a frequency. Earth has a frequency. Your body has a frequency. Everything is frequencies. And it's actually a really cool video. If you watch, they put water on top of a speaker and then they turn it to different frequencies. The water makes the most gorgeous pattern. And it's a different pattern for every single frequencies. But the whistleblowers say that there is technology where if you are sick, if you have cancer, if you have these things, if you're able to tune your body up to a certain hertz, a certain frequency, that it has the ability to heal itself. Yet they already have this technology, but they do not want to give it to us because, again, it is the biggest money maker in the world.
There's no money in a cure.
There's no money. And so that's why this is what, Paul is explaining, how they are not going to release any more, because all the technology we really have has come from extraterrestrials, and they are not going to give us any more until we need to get to a higher consciousness, a higher power, because we are too busy destroying one another. We don't even respect the planet that we are on, and we're more focused on going to another planet than we are trying to save our own.
Absolutely. It's actually crazy. Well, I know that, like, I can tell, I don't know if, like, you can tell when somebody is in more of a higher frequency or a lower one, because you have these people, there's people on YouTube, and I know that I can think of one in my head right now. You just see these people though that are so miserable and hateful and full of hate and just constantly raging. And it's like, no wonder you're miserable. Like, you seem like you hate yourself even, but you can totally feel the difference in people, and like the vibe. I swear you can feel things through the internet. Like even you don't have to be in person. You can feel, remember that night when when all that happened and you way back in the day, and I messaged you and then you didn't write back, and I was like, hey, what's going on? And you're like, how'd you know? I'm like, I don't know, I just felt
We
weird.
can pick up on those energies, like whether you call it an empath or whatnot. People do have these abilities, like it's been proven. But we're just taught from day one to suppress it. They don't want us to have that knowledge. So we're never going to get to this higher power until we could all live in harmony. And I know that sounds cliche and cheesy, but it's true. Like, when you're really, why would these extraterrestrial beings allow us the ability and hand us the technology when we are destroying ourselves? And it's been documented how crafts appeared we loaded up our nuclear weapons for whatever reason. I don't remember the circumstances, but crafts appeared at the exact site of these nuclear weapons, and it shut it down. Like, they're not fucking around, because they're not going to let us destroy this earth. They're going to step back, and we got to learn, and we got to do our own thing, even if it takes hundreds and thousands of years, because in relation to space, that's nothing. That's a blimp, But if we destroy this earth, it will throw off the entire galaxy, which it has the ripple effect throughout the universe, and they're not going to allow us to do that.
Oh, it's so crazy to think about. Well, I just wonder what will happen, especially now, because you have all this talk about us being at war, and then you've got Russia and the Ukraine and all this, like, there is a lot happening. Then you have the fear mongering from the right that's constantly, the civil war is coming, and, they're taking this, and we've got so many immigrants flying over the border. They're constantly trying to scare people into being so afraid of other people that are different. And I don't know, it's really scary when you think about it, what could happen. But
it is scary, but also, I'm telling you, look more. I'll send you a bunch of videos like with Paul Hellyer and stuff, because the moment I saw him explain in front of a huge group of people how we are currently in communication with at least 5 different extraterrestrial species, and he's the former Minister of Defense in Canada. I'm like, and so I could listen to that type of stuff for hours, because it is amazing. It's fascinating. And then I want to go deep into, well, what do the extraterrestrials look like? Are they malevolent? Are they benevolent? And the answer is, they look like all different. It depends on the planet that they're from. The same way we're made up of majority water, we need oxygen. Well, this this being, it doesn't have those same circumstances. So they're going to look depending on what they need and the environment they've, are from. And, some are malevolent, some are benevolent. The same way with beings, right? How can you ask, well, are humans good or bad, right? Well, some are good, some are bad. It's the same thing with extraterrestrials.
Wow.
But that's why they have this federation, because they have to keep everything going in outer space in the universe the same way we do here.
It's so freaking crazy to think about. Oh my goodness. Like a bunch of aliens all meeting together. Okay, they're getting a little crazy down there. Like, they're too wild.
There's another guy who said that he attended once. And imagine a big room, and the same way that we have like 2 people from every country like representing, he says that's what it is with extraterrestrials. And I'm like, awesome. And he said the blue avians run it, and the blue avians are huge, about 8-foot beings that kind of have like bird like beautiful like peacock like bird feathers, and are blue and have a beak and everything, and they all talk telepathically. It's not like, oh, do you speak English? No, they're at such a higher frequency, and we all are connected consciousness. Believe it or not, we are all connected, all beings in the universe, and that they have a way to communicate. It's like you hear it in your own voice, you hear it in your head, but they're putting the idea into your head.
Yeah, well, just like animals, if you watch your dogs communicate, or you watch birds fly across the sky and their formation, or you know, they can communicate. It's really cool. I want to learn more about like the frequency healing, that kind of stuff, and
I'll send that to you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, please do. I'm really interested in that. And then I'm also really interested in just myself trying to quiet my own mind to get to a place where I can meditate and connect. Because I know I am super empathic, but I've always wanted to be able to connect more with it, especially the spiritual side. And I've had a lot of death in my life.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
It makes you want to, like, you know, be able to talk
connect to your guides. Everybody has guides, and it's about getting your mind quiet enough to, and in that deep meditative state, and you're able to travel to, it's a different dimension actually. So you're here, but you're able to, and you could have full-on communication with your guides. Now that's a whole different subject, but it's a real thing. There's enough people, again, like if you are questioning it, look behind the science of it and the fact that they use this in the CIA in these undercover projects. If it was baloney, why would they be using it? You know?
Yeah.
Now they're using it for the wrong reasons, but
I think it's so interesting. I've tried to do little meditations where you can meet your spirit guides and different things like that. You can find it out there. And also it does, like you may be getting a sign from the universe and think it's nothing. If you don't quiet your mind enough and pay attention and watch around you, whether it's a bird in the sky or something that a lot of times other animals, they'll show up to you in other animals and things like that. Like, but if you really pay attention, I don't know, you can start to make your mind really freak yourself out a little bit,
like
kind of thinking of the
they
possibilities.
Keep us
very cool.
Distracted. They keep the iPads in front of us, the television in front of us, so we're zombies. We're just like walking through the motions, and we're never really thinking more. They want to keep us like that, you know? So yeah, it's learning how to quiet all that down and really getting one with yourself, getting one with the universe, walking outside with no shoes on and putting your feet in the grass, like feeling the earth and feeling the energy, because there is science behind it, and the whole universe is a frequency, and you can tune in to that frequency.
That is so cool. Happy Hippie. I actually have a 4-part series. Pointer Lover was talking about it on addiction, and I'm about to expand that, but I'm going to put my first part in the chat. Just have tissues, because the first one is hard. The first 4 are more about like the getting sober, denial, guilt, the shame, some of those things. And then after that, I'm going to expand to what it's like for the family members of an addict and stuff like that. So I'm going to link that in the chat really quick. So you can find
You did an amazing series on sobriety and getting sober, and especially the impact it is, because just like you've said many times, more often than not, it is much more difficult for the family member than it is the addict. And I could definitely agree to that.
Yeah. And it's tough too. It's like, and thank you, by the way, but it's like what we do to our family and the shame and the guilt that you have after that, just realizing your impact on other people. There's a lot of people, I know people now who are sober, but they still don't take account of like their impact on other people. And that there's things that I think that also come along with recovery, working on yourself, where you reach like a different level of like a higher frequency, basically. You start to think about, like how you impact other people. What, you know, oftentimes in our addiction, we don't even think about the people we're hurting. We're too focused on so it's an important subject. Here's the first one. I'm gonna put it in the chat right now.
Hello,
well,
Sally.
Melissa, this was so freaking fun. I am so glad that you came on.
We should do a part 2.
Oh, I'm so down. Let me try to find some more interesting stuff to ask you about. And like,
Absolutely.
let's do it. And we could even expand to some of that spiritual, I don't know, spiritual stuff. And
I would love it. This is where my passion is, and I could talk about this all day. I don't really read books, so to speak, on conspiracies, ET lady. I started on Google and I'll just look up CIA documents that have been classified and then declassified. And then sometimes I'll look up videos of people who are smarter than me to explain it and break it down. But it all depends on, like, you have to find which conspiracy you're looking at. And then from there, just start Googling. And well, not even Google, because Google censors it a lot, but you should be able to find things. I don't read actual books, though. I'm not smart enough.
Let me tell you though, Melissa has a catalog of videos. If you go back to her first videos, I'm telling you, so many different subjects that I never even knew about within the conspiracy realm, because I'm really into spiritual stuff, but some of the conspiracy stuff, I don't know, I just never had the interest in, but she made me interested in a lot of it. So yeah, go over there and look at her old videos. And then, like I was saying, Valerie Knox is starting to do like a little bit of conspiracy. And then also Brittany, I wanted to mention that too. I think she's done one or two recently. So I don't know of any, like, who do you watch? Are there any like well-known? Remember
Kendall
Shane Dawson used to do the conspiracy?
Yes, I used to, even though he was like, whatever, I really like Shane because there wasn't that many conspiracy channels and Shay made me laugh, but he's more of like the light end type conspiracies. But
like
I love Kendall Ray. Yeah, like, yo, that was true. That good Chuck E. Cheese pizza conspiracy was true because I started looking at it and those slices are always different sizes. So I'm telling you.
I know. It's crazy.
But Kendall Ray, I really like Kendall Ray, but she is a bigger channel and she does a really good job, whether it's true crime or conspiracies. But you have to also accept that on YouTube, you are monitored. So it'll give you a nice overview of the conspiracy. But if you really want to find deeper into it, you're going to have to do your own research.
Yeah. And then if Google, like, censors like that, it just sucks because where do you go? Reddit or?
Well, with like, I've been learning about BitChute. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, but BitChute, a lot of the old things that I used to look up, at least with 9/11, is there that wasn't there, that's no longer available on YouTube. So if it's there about 9/11 and things like that, I'm assuming it's going to be there about a lot. Yeah, you could use DuckDuckGo as your search engine. I'm not good with technology like that. So I'm like, it's Google. What do you mean? They filter what they put up there. So you have to switch your search engine and everything.
Oh, yeah. And, I noticed when I was, during Summer Wells' case, I started doing like deep dives into each individual character. And I noticed immediately with the sheriff who, is a political person, he's running every couple years. He's definitely cleaned up and been working with somebody taking care of Google. Even between, I did like 2 videos, and from the first to the second, you wouldn't believe the things that were no longer on the internet. Like, it's crazy, but they go around cleaning things up from time to time,
Absolutely.
Meatfoot says she uses DuckDuckGo as default. Yep, it's crazy. Nicole Kessinger, she hired a PR company. Yeah.
Where is she? Does she even exist? Because it is so bizarre that there's nothing out there about her.
I know. It is. It really, really is. I wonder if she'll ever come out and do like a documentary like Casey Anthony did, or, because I think people want to hear from her still.
Oh, they do. They desperately do. And yeah, they desperately do.
Oh, thank you, Corey. Okay, you guys, Melissa's channel is in the description. By the way, Nadie's dropped it as well a couple times, but it's in the description, and it's her UFO video in the description. That's one that I linked, so definitely go watch that. And then her other videos too. No, thank you. Thank you for coming on. It was so fun.
Aliens. I love aliens anytime.
I love it, but now I want to get into the spiritual stuff. That's really interesting to me too. And I'm telling you, like, I know for a fact, I was also raised with a little bit in Christianity, but I know that, and they tell you, spirits aliens don't walk on Earth, that kind of thing. Yes, they do. They absolutely do.
Yes, they do. They sure do.
All right. My computer is going to die. So if it does, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me on. Thank you, everyone in the chat. It was lovely. And yeah, I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.
Thank you. It was so fun. I know, Nadie. That's what I was thinking. It's not monetized. We can talk about whatever and play music.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much, Allie. I had a blast.
Thank you,
Melissa.
Melissa.
I won't say it's your fault. I'll be happy, but just know I love you all. And I'll be back at some point.
You were asking for it if you get abducted because you've been trying to do seances to bring him and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you guys.
Bye,
all
everyone.
Right. Thank you, Melissa. Appreciate you so much. Have a good night. And thank you, chat. Thank you, mods. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed it. I had so much fun too. It's just really nice to get to just sit around and talk about with you guys, but not about true crime always, even though that is where my heart is. I also want to talk about fashion and stuff too. I got all kinds of shit to talk about, y'all. But anyways, my computer is about to shut off any second. So I just want to say thank you guys for being here. Thank you for spending your time with me. I hope you guys have a really great night. And thank you again, Melissa. I think that if you're not subscribed, go over there and subscribe. Rena, you should come up with us on that one and talk about some of the stuff you've been learning. But yeah, Riddler. Okay, I love you guys. Have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow or something, okay? Bye.